Hey guys, so for today is going to be hot. Literally because we're comparing two blazing figures of the Flame Hashira himself, Kyojuro Rengoku. On my left is the SHFiguarts version by Bandai. Big, bold, dramatic, and it costs $63 retail price. And on my right is the Figma version by Max Factory. Sleek, posable, full of accessories, and it costs $81 retail price. So we'll compare everything from box design, figure design, accessories, articulations, and we will test them in 3 poses to see which one burns brighter on your shelf. Whew, are you guys ready to find out? Because I am! Let's kick it off with the box presentation. At Shfiguarts first, Bandai keeps their packaging straightforward. You get that sharp window like this, clean text, and a photo of the figure doing some heroic pose. It's neat and minimal. If you're the type of collector who stacks boxes like books, this design works well. It's uniform, compact, and doesn't waste shelf space. Now, Figma. Max Factory goes more stylish. The front has a bigger display window so you can see almost everything inside right away. They add a splash of colors and layout design that makes it more lively. On the side and back, you even get sample poses, which is always fun. You want inspirations before opening it. If I had to compare, I'd say SHFiguarts is like a Japanese bento, clean, tidy, portioned. Figma box is more like a buffet. You see everything and it tempts you to dive in. For display value, Figma wins. For storage practicality, SHFiguarts takes the point. Now let's unbox and compare the figures themselves. SHFiguarts Kyojuro is slightly taller. The proportions are more anime accurate in a dramatic way. The clock is bigger, eyebrows are thinner, and the gradient on his haori is strong. That red at the bottom pops so much it feels like his coat is literally on fire. The sculpt of the hair is also sharper, the spikes look crisp and full of energy. Figma's Rengoku is a little smaller, more balanced. The clock isn't as massive, which means the body feels more proportional. The eyebrows are thicker, giving him a softer, almost friendlier face compared to SHFiguarts' intense look. The paint gradient is there, but more subtle. It doesn't scream as loud as SHFiguarts. Now, the fun part, the accessories. So, SHFiguarts gives you 5 extra faceplate. That's a lot of personality options. This is the first faceplate, second faceplate, third faceplate. Oof, I just love the detail. The fourth faceplate. Now, this one is the 5th faceplate. So, total extra 5 faceplates. 3 pairs of hands, good enough for most poses. And of course, his Nichiren sword. Oh my god. Look at that spark on the sword. The detail is amazing. It's simple but effective. The faces are really expressive. You can do calm, shouting, determined, or even that classic smile. It covers most moods you want Rengoku to have. Now Figma, this is where it flexes. They comes with tons of hand parts. Classic Figma, they always pack extra. 2 faceplates only, which is fewer than SHFiguarts, and this is the first faceplate. This is the second faceplate. That's it. That's 2 extra faceplate. But then you get a bento box and a hand holding chopsticks straight from that legendary Mugen Train scene. Honestly, that alone gives Figma extra points. His Nichiren sword is included, of course, plus flame effect parts to spice up action poses, and these are 3 parts that we can use for combat pose later. That's it. That's most of the accessories of Figma. Okay, so here's the deal. SHFiguarts wins in face variety, but Figma wins in creativity and extra scene references. If you want battle-ready Rengoku, SHFiguarts is your guy. But if you want storytelling and fun, Figma is your pick. Now let's talk articulation, because this is where collectors really start to notice the engineering differences between SHFiguarts and Figma. Starting with SHFiguarts, the body uses Bandai typical ball hinge system in the shoulders and hips. This gives you a wide range, especially for sword swings and lunging stances. The elbows and knees bend to close to 90, 100 degrees, not fully double jointed but enough for dramatic poses. The torso is split into upper chest and waist joints, so you get some forward crunch and twist. Not the most flexible torso in the world, but it's a solid for actions. The biggest limitation is the clock. It's large and sculpted, so even though it's on ball joints, it can block leg movement if you're trying for deep crouches or wide stances. Basically, SHFiguarts gives you power posing, but sometimes at the cost of freedom. Now, Figma. Okay, guys, please correct me if I'm wrong. Figma uses their signature Figma joint system, which is like a hybrid hinge swivel. This design allows smoother, more natural movement compared to HFiguarts' tighter joints. The elbows and knees bend past 120 degrees, so crouching or kneeling poses look cleaner. The torso has a clever ball pec cut, giving you more forward bend and side tilt than SHFiguarts. That means more expressive, lifelike posing. For the shoulders, rotate more freely because the clock is smaller than less obstructive. You can get a proper two-hand sword grip like this without fighting the fabric. The downside, because of the smaller scale and thinner plastic, the joint feel more fragile. Push too hard and you'll feel like something might snap. Okay. Okay, I'm pulling one of the legs and this is what happened. It feels so fragile and flimsy. Now, this one is the exciting part. Test them with 3 poses. So we test them with 3 iconic poses of Rengoku, and this one is the first pose. Okay guys, so this is the first pose. When I tried setting them up, SHFiguarts stood way sturdier than Figma. Plus, with SHFiguarts adjustable front hair piece, the combat pose actually looks like a combat pose. Figma, on the other hand, well, not so stable. The legs kept slowly sliding down, unless it was just me messing up the pose. But Figma takes the crown for accessories with those 2 flame effect parts. Now let's move on to the second pose, this one. Okay guys, I've gotta admit, SHFiguarts takes the win here. Rengoku's clock might look thick, but it's actually flexible, so posing him is way easier. Meanwhile, Fix My Clock feels like it's made out of cardboard. Zero flexibility. And when it comes to facial expressions, especially that iconic Akaza fight look. SHFiguarts Rengoku just nails it. Like Articulation, SHFiguarts again. Solid and sturdy, while Figma legs though, yeah, a little too fragile for my taste. Let's move on to the third pose. This one! Okay, this is the last pose, the third pose. Setting up SHFiguarts for this one actually took a bit of a time. The leg balance was kinda tricky, but the payoff is worth it because the clock can flare out like it's caught in the wind, which looks super close to the reference image pose number 3. Figma, on the other hand, was way easier to balance and pose overall. The downside, the clock cannot really be lifted up, so you're stuck with some limitations. But when it comes to accessories though, Figma wins again. Easier balance, better extras, SHFiguarts might look more dynamic, but Figma keeps things simple and effective. Okay guys, that's it for today's video. Oh my god, which one is the better figures? Honestly, it depends on what you are looking for. If you want a bold, anime-accurate Rengoku with sharp detail and strong display presence, go with SHFiguarts. And if you want a more poseable, playful figure with fun accessories and smoother articulation, then Figma is your guy. For me personally, I cannot choose between both of them because they are already insanely cool. SHFiguarts looks like the Rengoku who's ready to fight Akaza, while Figma, it looks like the Rengoku who's ready to enjoy a good meal on the train. So, they both have their own pros and cons. Comment down below which one is a better figure. You can like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's review, and especially if you guys into anime figure review and unboxing. And if you love toys photography, follow me on social media, Madam Chip on Instagram, and see you on the next video. Bye bye!